I think probably a range of things. First of all, recognition that Myanmar has simply been left behind by the rest of Asia, but particularly Southeast Asia. You just have to look across to see the dynamic economies of Southeast Asia, and the comparisons are very stark. Secondly, I think the prospect of chairing ASEAN in 2014 was a big prize for them, but the condition was that they would have to do something about opening up and becoming more acceptable in terms of openness and transparency with respect to the rest of the world. The third is that I think there was a sense within Myanmar that they were concerned about being too closely tied to China, that many of the Chinese investments may have been done with the connivance, if you wish, of certain military leaders who profited greatly from those deals. And so this overreach by China may have led to a little bit of a reaction. Certainly there was a reaction amongst locals where these investment projects were undertaken, who saw no benefit from those investments and clearly felt that they were not being given a fair shake, so to speak.
And that's one of the points you make, that the government must use any additional revenue for social investments. Do you think they understand that?
I believe they grasp the importance of having investments in natural resources which lead to sustainable development results. But it's not an easy thing to do. It's very difficult.
The government is getting a lot of advice from many people, including from you. Are they able to absorb all this advice, do you think?
That's one of the big concerns. One of the big concerns is that they're going to be peppered with advice of all kinds. And obviously Myanmar has to do a lot of things. The crucial question is, what should it do first and what can it leave till later? And I think in terms of priorities, what Myanmar needs to do is to set its public finances. Government finances have to be set right. They've got to get the resources, and they're already doing that. I talked about the budget being discussed in Parliament. So they're on their way to do that. And once they get their budget in order, they can start financing infrastructure and start supporting agriculture, which are absolutely crucial. The second most important thing they need to do is to open up their trade. They've got to allow imports to come in, capital goods to come in, because that will jumpstart the economy. Third, they've got to get rid of all these restrictions on investment. And that's going to be difficult, because many of those currently in power have benefited from the red tape that's throttled the Myanmar private sector.
So what will Myanmar look like in, say, 5 years?
If they hold steady to these reforms, I think there is enormous potential for growth in Myanmar. The challenge is translating these assets which are under the ground, so to speak, translating these assets into real human capital, physical capital, and sustainable growth. That's the big challenge. If they can crack that, and it's, as I said, it's a very tall order, but given their resources, given the fact that Myanmar is at this very crucial strategic point in Asia, connecting China, India, and Southeast Asia, it is in a very good neighborhood.